Can Zeke deke again? It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Buffalo Bills taking on the Dallas Cowboys. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Buffalo Bills and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They've been flawless these last couple months, winners of 9 in a row.
And that's the kind of streak you don't see too often in today's NFL since there's so much parity. So the way they've played has been truly remarkable.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, they're in a real groove of late, winners of 5 of their last 6 games. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. As we get a peek at their dynamic signal caller hailing from Mississippi State, it's Dak Prescott.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. A first down throw for Prescott. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Defensively, Harrison Phillips there to stop him. This is how they'll line up on the defensive side for Buffalo. And they're currently 21st, Charles, in the NFL against the run.
One thing you know they'll be fired up because they're facing a top 5 rushing attack. And even if they have early success against them, they got to remember they got to sustain it because teams that are top 5, they don't stop running the ball if they don't get things done early.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. Elliott a first down and more. And he'll be taken down at the 26. A huge play there on the screen pass. 46 yards. A big play like that looks familiar, doesn't it? Like we saw it a week ago, reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Nothing wrong with being explosive. Nothing wrong with being electric. Nothing wrong with carrying it over from the previous week off to a really, really hot start.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Nevin Lawson there on the tackle.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. A 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
They go play action here on first down. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Prescott to throw it. Trying for Cooper again. This time he finds it. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now first and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that would be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that, Fields. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Randall Cobb, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. Commanding the offense will be the 7th overall pick of the 2018 draft. It's Josh Allen.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, it's the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He's able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Let's go! Blue Lightning! Blue Lightning!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Let's go! Blue Lightning!
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits 000. And time is... Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Here's Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Those shoulders went from parallel to square, and then he brought force with him to finish that run. Oh, that's impressive.
And we saw a lot of that a week ago when he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award. Now Prescott on the left side. Gallup's got it. Takes this one up past the 20 after he's able to make a man miss. A gain of 6 there on first.
always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what they play man coverage against you. He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what it said, right? A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When you're in man coverage, you have help over the top, you become a much more confident defender. Trail the receiver and know that someone over the top can make a play. And that's exactly what happened here. The free safety coming up with the interception.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Well, the fans should be applauding this defense right now. It's an excellent job. They forced a 3 and out, and they should be able to set up their guys in great field position, probably near midfield or better.
The Bills send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, he's looked pretty good to this point. Here's Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Takes this to the 45. Broken tackle. Bought him a little extra space. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Cooper's got it. He's got a first down and more inside the 30 and all the way down to the 25-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal. Prescott yet again. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And that'll give give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. To the air, Allen, and his throw's going to be incomplete. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there, and it's 3rd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
The Bills send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Elliott. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. Some of the best games of the weekend come in that 1 o'clock Eastern window, one of which features the Panthers at home in Carolina as they get set to do battle with the Detroit Lions. Good stuff going on later in the afternoon as well, especially down in Miami, where it will be the Dolphins taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. And finally, a good one scheduled for Sunday Night Football between the Washington Redskins and the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way? But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
And Martin's got it, complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. On the screen, this is Coleman. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Give him 30 yards there.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now third down. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Prescott now looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Schultz. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. Prescott on first down. And he's got it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here comes Sherrills. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
On second down, here's Smith. And hard running's going to get him over to 40 to the 42. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Cowboys on third down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now Prescott. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they got an answer for it.
And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott trying to lay one up deep. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And dropped at the 35, but able to display some strength on the run. 2nd down, a little more productive than 1st. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
3rd and short yardage. Prescott got his man there, complete to Gallup. And he gets it down to the 32. And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And this one is right down Broadway. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Allen again here on 2nd and 10. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The Bills on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. First down, Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Gets past him at the 10. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. Prescott. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Bills. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
Time for a break. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. The Bills on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, it's Allen. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Space to maneuver at the 40. Oh, shifty.
Whoa.
And finally taken down at the 34. They give him a gain of 37.
First play of the drive, excellent run. Just sets up wash, rinse, repeat. Another first down.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Well, Prescott here to throw. On the crossing route, complete. It's Schultz. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Tenth carry now for Elliott. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here comes Sherrills. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now out come the Bills. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room, get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game. And a message to your team. We're not going to quit. No matter what the battle is, we're going to finish this thing out.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Allen will try again on 2nd down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Allen now looks to throw. Now a desperate into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for Dallas, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face the Giants next week. Meanwhile, for the Bills, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the Cleveland Browns. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.